Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Wednesday morning, December 4th. We're looking at the last 2 days of the market profile on the SPY ETF. And after 2 days of some pretty decent selling, the bulls are looking to come back and take the daily back into balance. Now, even though it was decent selling for 2 days, first one, we said, turned into a B shape, even though the trend day held. Second one has a very nice sizable gap, straight down, and then B couldn't even take out the day's low. We raised POC a couple of times and went out with a price probe and a price spike to the upside. So yes, the selling was decent, but there were telltale signs there, little nuances I like to call them, that told you it wasn't as strong as I would have liked to have seen if you really wanted to get this market lower. So where are we this morning? With just over an hour to go prior to the opening. We're looking to gap higher on a decent size gap into a decent size gap. Now, up until a couple of minutes ago, we were trading right around 310.81, which is right at that 9 wide from the 22nd. Now we're lower at 310.58. Now, a lot can happen. We'll go over scenarios, what I would look to do on the opening. Let's go over destinations first. So, for the upside, since there's still an hour to go and a lot has happened, we're going to use yesterday's high on both sides of the equation again. 309.64, yesterday's high, filling the gap at 311.17. That's a 153 tick gap. It's pretty large. And in between there, 310.81, which was 9 wide from November 22nd. If they're able to fill this gap, your next destination until we get more market-generated information would be 311.82, which was 10 wide from December 2nd. And then the single prints, they started 312.61 and get filled at 313.02. For the downside, if we gap higher, it will then be yesterday's high of 309.64. Then we have the price probe right below it at 309.61. The price spike at 309.13, so all within like 50 cents. You'd have the gap, price probe, price spike to see if there's going to be buyers there again, if this comes in. Then, if they get rejected up here, odds are you will trade down to 10 wide of 308.42, afternoon pullback low of 308.32, and then yesterday's low of 307.13. So what's the game plan for this morning? Right now, around the 310.50 level, kind of in limbo. Too big a gap to want to be a buyer. Even though there's decent size on the upside, I'd rather see this closer to around the 310.70, 310.80 level to maybe take a put against that 9 wide to see if it's a speed bump from the 22nd. Plus, I know my out would be one of two things. Either if the gap gets filled, or we get accepted into M period, right? Gaps are like magnets, so the closer they get to it, the odds are you would fill it. But that's what might be all they want to do initially. So I wouldn't get out as quick if I was to take a short around the 310.80 level. Even though value's higher, gap higher, this is emotional and mindless machine buying right here, right? We just repaired a lot of poor structure on the coming down, and we're starting it right off the bat with a gap into a gap. This is a pretty large gap. I don't know if they fill it the first time. That's why if we get around 310.80, I would take that short position. I know my out to see if we get some kind of counter auction. Now, if we open at 310.50 and drive straight down, but hold today's gap, then I would take a call play. Where's my out? Probably if we get accepted back into I's range. If we get accepted below the price spike, I'm out, because then that means the gap, the price probe, and the price spike all would have been rejected, and odds are you're going to get back into yesterday's value and at least to the POC and the afternoon pullback low. So maybe around the 310 level, 310 level, maybe I would nibble on the call side because then I know my out. But right here, 310.50, I'm in limbo. Little high, I'll short it. Low, I'll buy it. I know my outs. So that's the game plan early for this morning. Quickly, charts. Helps to keep reiterating this. Monthly, up. Gap holding, healthy. Weekly, right now, we're in balance. Stopped the one-time framing up for 8 weeks. Took out 3 weekly lows. Came off the bottom of, so far, of this week's low nicely. We are in balance. Makes a market healthier. Daily, we went from up to balance to down. Now we take out to yesterday's high, we will be in balance. Question is this the end of the selling, or is this just a relief rally? Right? 315 to 307, that's $8. Back to around the 311 area. Well, we took back half of it if that's the case. Is that all they want to do? Again, it remains to be seen. But these are things you have to have in your head at what we're looking at and what we're looking to trade. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.